algorithms running in the background is just telling me that, hang on, it's notifying my followers that I've gone live. 2 weeks. Yeah, I guess it's been a while. It's nice to be back. You know, in that 2 weeks, excuse me, in that 2 weeks I've been busy with life stuff, so you know, there hasn't been a whole, if I'm 100% honest, there hasn't been, hello Alexandra, there hasn't been a whole lot of songwriting that's been able to happen in the last couple of weeks because I've been busy moving again. And hopefully we've landed somewhere where we're going to stay for a while. You know, it's not that I haven't been doing any writing. I've done a little bit. But, you know, I'm kind of in a different mood tonight where I wanted to go into my back catalog a little bit and play an older song and also play a cover. And there's a story to both of them. Nice to see you, Alexandra. I hope you're both doing well, Denise and Alexandra. Thanks for joining tonight. Yeah, so there's a story with both of them. So the song in my back catalog that I want to do is, it's off of my, gosh, what album is it off of? No Static. So it's my previous one, the one I released before the one I've got out right now. The album's called No Static, and most of the songs on the album were co-written with my friend and longtime collaborator Ron Yamauchi, and there were a couple of songs on the album that each of us wrote individually. So one of the ones I wanted to do tonight was one of the ones that I wrote a few years back, and it's called The Vampire Song. And you know, when I introduce this song live, I say that I say the song title and that it's called The Vampire Song, and then I say it's about my family, and that usually gets a laugh from people. It's more so, you know, it's more so about my family history, and thinking about my position here in Canada as a settler, and coming from a settler family, and a family that emigrated from Europe to Canada like 8 generations ago. So very much a settler family, and within definitely waves of colonizers. And I've been thinking about that quite a bit right now, especially with the confirmation of the unmarked graves at the residential schools in a number of locations in Canada, with more to be found. So I've been thinking about my positionality, I guess, as a settler here in Canada, and what I can do about that. I mean, I know we can't change the history, but what I can do to, I don't even like using the word history, because a lot of the systemic issues that are happening with colonization and genocide really in the residential schools is, there's different degrees of it happening today in our systems. So yeah, so I guess I'm just thinking about what I can do as a settler and how I can help maybe change minds and hearts. I don't know. Anyway, so this is a long-winded way of talking about this song, The Vampire Song. So the metaphor of the vampire is really, when I wrote it, I was really thinking about the fact that I come from a settler family, and that, well, we're not vampires. There's definitely, in terms of the metaphor, how can I say it? taking from, a sucking of life from something else. And I'm thinking about Indigenous peoples and how they were and still are displaced in our country. And so this song came out of thinking about that quite a bit, and thinking about my own family history here, and the stories of my ancestors. So I collected some stories of my ancestors in this song and in another song called Mars Children, which was on my album before that, One World in Reverse. And this one focuses in on a story when I went back to Nova Scotia to visit a couple of my aunts. It's my dad's family that's from Nova Scotia. My mom's from England, and he came from a very large family. I think there were 12 children. So when on one of my trips back to Nova Scotia, because I spent part of my childhood there, two of my aunts, my Aunt Mabel and my Aunt Margie, they took my sisters and I on a driving trip out into the bush, really, in Nova Scotia, into the wilds, into this area called Pleasant Valley, which is near Musquodoboit, which is where my dad is from, which is a Mi'kmaq word, Musquodoboit. And they took us to the old Fleming family homestead, or the site of it, which is now a blueberry field. But we did find the old foundation of the house and found a number of artifacts there. I guess it had burnt down in the early 1900s, and they told different stories about when so-and-so had tuberculosis and they lived in a tent outside the main house and different things like that. Anyway, a collection of stories then went into this song, and it went into my reflections on being a settler. So I'm going to play it. It's called The Vampire Song, and you can find it on Spotify or any streaming platform if you want to check it out and hear the recorded version that Ron and I did together, that we recorded together. All right. I can smell the centuries of move under her dress. In my dreams I can touch the past, planted there at Pleasant Valley. I watch the sunlands and this body remembers what this mind wants to forget. And I guess this means that I'm not over you. I'm not over you, yeah. And it's been so long since I have felt this warmth. But please push me into some traveling, baby. I'm traveling, I'm traveling, I'm traveling into oblivion. Thank you for listening, people, fine people. Orangey, hello, welcome. And the Rad Cyclist, hello, welcome. Lovely to see you all. Thanks for joining Musical Mondays. The song I just played was called The Vampire Song, and I told a very long story to lead it off, which I won't retell, but basically it... Thank you, Alexandra. Yeah, it's a lengthy reflection on both the song and how I preambled it, how I introed it. It was a lengthy reflection on my position as a settler here in Canada. Thank you very much, Denise, Inner Vortex. So, and that song, if you want to hear the recorded version of it, is on my No Static album that was released in 2016. And yeah, you can find it on my streaming platforms. So yeah, so I'm not revisiting the song that I've been writing live tonight. I'll do that again maybe next week. It's just been so super busy that I really haven't made a lot more headway on it. So I wanted to kind of be authentic to where I am, and really I'm very much thinking about the Indian residential schools in Canada and the impact on Indigenous peoples here, so hence the song that I just played. Yeah, so, and I also said that I would share some news. So yes, I've just moved back to beautiful Victoria, which I'm so thrilled about. I'm looking out at the ocean right now, which is amazing. And I'm so grateful to be here. And other news, I have a show this coming Saturday, which is pretty exciting. I'm part of a festival that's being curated by Got Pop, which is a music booking organization in Nanaimo on Vancouver Island, and also Elise Boulanger, who's a singer-songwriter. So they've invited me to be part of this festival. It's called On Live Support, and it's supported by Creative BC and Sound On, and yeah, I'll be performing on Saturday night, and it's a live stream from the Queens in Nanaimo, BC, and I get to go visit my parents afterwards, which is really exciting because BC has moved to phase 2, so we can move around a little more. So I'm totally looking forward to that, and I'll be playing some new stuff. And yeah, so it'll be live streamed if you want to check it out. All the links are in my bio, and I'll be posting about it this week too. Other news, I have a new single coming out. It's actually a re-release of a song called Me Oh My that was written by my longtime collaborator Ron Yamuchi, and I've done a video for it, a lyric video, which I'm pretty excited about. It's so I'm releasing that in a few weeks' time, in early July, so watch out for that as well. And you know, enough talking from me, but thanks everybody. Yeah, so let me know if you have any questions, but I thought I would play one more song tonight. And you know, I went to Monroe's Books in Victoria today and I spotted this book, Sinead O'Connor's autobiography. So I picked it up. I haven't started reading it yet, of course, because I just bought it. But you know, so I was kind of inspired after seeing this, and can't wait to read it. But I wanted to play a Sinead O'Connor song tonight too, and it's one of her very early songs from her album The Lion and the Cobra, and which I think came out in 1990. So I'm dating myself. I was a very young singer-songwriter at that time, and I remember being blown away by her, because I was like, oh my God, there's a woman who shaved her head and she's singing. Like, listen to her sing from her soul. And I was like, that is what I've been waiting for, is somebody to break through and do that, a woman to break through and do that. So I was very inspired by her, so I wanted to play one of her songs tonight. So this is called Jackie, and if you're familiar with the song, my version it's an acoustic version, so it's quite different. And you know, way back in 1990, I was in an indie band, indie folk pop, I guess we were called, in Vancouver, and I was the lead singer-songwriter, and our very first gig was in 1990, I think. Yeah, actually, 1990. And our very first gig in Vancouver was in 1990 as well, and I remember it was in Gastown in this little place called The Side Door, I think, or something like that. Anyway, I remember playing this song. This was one of the songs that was in our set. Anyway, it goes like this. Jackie laughed on a cold dark night, telling me he'd be home. Said the seas for 100 years, leaving me all alone. I've been dead for 20 years, I've been washing the sun with my salty tears. I've been searching the shores for my Jackie. Oh, I remember the day the yard man came, said, your Jackie's gone, he's been lost in the rain. And I ran to the beach to lay me down. You're all wrong, I said, and they stared at the sound of I know that sea like the back of his hand. He'll be back sometime, I feel him near. I've been waiting all this time for my man to come, take his hand in mine, and lead me away to unseen shores. I've been washing the sun with my salty tears, searching the shore these long years, and I walk the seas forevermore till I find my Jackie. Oh, till I find my Jackie. Oh, my Alright, there we go. Hello, Martin Carmi. Nice to see you. Thank you, everybody. Thanks for tuning in. So yes, that little ditty was a Sinead O'Connor song. It's just such a great song to sing. It's well, thank you for the hearts and the applause. It's just 3 chords, D, C, and G. But it's all about the melody and the way that she uses her vocal range in the song and just moves up and down that scale. It just makes it this epic song, and I love singing it. It's perfect for my vocal range too. So yeah, so I really appreciate you all tuning in tonight. It's lovely to see you, and lovely to have Musical Mondays back after a little break. So I will definitely be back again next week. I'll be doing my regular Mondays again now that I'm settled in a new place, a new spot, and have a white wall, blank wall behind me that I can use. So that's amazing. I hope you're doing all very well and keeping well. And yeah, that's it for me tonight. I am signing off and hope to see you next week. Take good care. Mwah. Okay, bye everyone.